Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Batters Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. ProCharge EV and ProChargeEV.com. All right, hope your day is off to a magnificent start. Thanks for being here with us. As always, we appreciate that. Heading into the weekend. Boom. And got word that they named the NBA All-Star lineups, and Zion Williamson named an All-Star game starter despite playing just 29 games this year. So clearly the impact he had has not been lost on people around the league. I mean, you've got your regulars with LeBron and Giannis and Jokic. But Zion starter for the first time. They may not even play in the game, obviously, because of the hamstring injury. But that's pretty cool. And interestingly enough, Zion was named a starter in that spot over Anthony Davis. So, and Davis has only played in 3 fewer games than Zion, by the way. So it's not like Zion's played a ton and AD hasn't. I mean, they're kind of what and what. So interesting there. Hopefully a good weekend ahead. We got conference championship games on Sunday. Panthers have chosen their head coach in Frank Reich, so that's one fewer coaching spot there available. We're kind of keeping an eye on Sean Payton, obviously. Pels and Tigers both back on the floor tomorrow. LSU hosts Texas Tech, who is having a really rough go of it in conference play. Texas Tech is 0-8. They're on an 8-game losing streak, so that's tomorrow. And the Pels, that's tomorrow at 1. The Pels tomorrow night host Washington. So after playing a back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday, Pels get off Thursday, Friday, and then get a chance to play a home game Saturday against Washington. So, hoping the Pels snap the 6-game losing streak. They're going to be favored in the game. But they were favored Wednesday night against Minnesota and lost the second of the back-to-back. Hi! Look who's up. That antibiotic Drew is on. Boy, that is not letting him sleep very good. Old boy is just ready to roll, huh? Huh? You ready to roll? It's like 6:30. He's just like, hey, Dad. Ready? Ready to get out of bed? Want to go watch videos on Daddy's phone? I'm wired. Where are you going? You want to sit with Daddy? You want to sit with Daddy? Okay. He gone. All right, let's say some good mornings. Ryan, Amanda Guidry, Kelly Gross, David Coslin, Kyle DeVille. What's going on? I run it back, Saints. Trivia Carter, Brad David, good morning. What job is Sean Payton waiting for? I don't know, Brad. Honestly, I'm starting to lean toward Jeff Duncan's report being spot on. Jeff Duncan said that Sean Payton was always leaning toward going back to TV, and it would have to be a job that blew him away. And apparently, that hasn't happened. Panthers have hired Frank Reich. A report yesterday that the Broncos had D'Amico Ryans as their leading candidate. So if that's the case, man, Sean Payton's options are limited, right? I mean, you're talking about Houston, Indy, or Arizona, and maybe one of those pops for him. We'll see. Hunter Broadhead, Reed Rule, Wendell Norman, Matthew Vincent. What do you think? I'm sorry, hey Matt, do you think the transfer portal is more effective than recruiting high school athletes? So, no, but I think, so a couple things, Matthew. I think the days of signing the 3-star that you're going to stash and develop for 3 years, that's probably, those opportunities are probably few and far between. Now, here's what I will say about, okay, so let me back up. There are a lot of analysts that feel like the transfer portal is going to take away opportunities, scholarship opportunities for lower regarded high school athletes, meaning just what I said. If you need an offensive lineman, why would you sign the 3-star and try to develop him over several years when you can go in the portal and get a starter who's a 4th-year guy from somewhere else, right? If the hard cap of 25 had stayed in place, I think that would have been a legit problem. The way that they've counterbalanced, meaning, for those that don't know, you could only sign 25 players in a class. This year, the NCAA did away with the hard cap, meaning you can sign as many players as you want. You just can't go over 85 scholarship players on your roster. So I think in so doing, in eliminating that hard cap, it left open the possibility, the opportunity to take that 2 or 3-star guy and stash him on the roster and take the transfer portal guy as well. That's going to help you immediately. What's more effective? I think you have to use both. I mean, you have to recruit, high school players. That has to be the lifeblood of your program, guys that you can build a foundation around. But then you use the portal to supplement in a given year where you're thin. A great example of that is what they just did with Omar Spates, getting him in from Oregon State. You aren't expecting to have a hole at linebacker, but when Baskerville and Mike Jones both went pro, when Colby Fields and, bigger deal, DeMario Tolan both left via the portal, you had a hole at linebacker, and you needed help immediately. And so you went and got Omar Spates. Guy's been a 4-year starter at Oregon State and played a lot of football, was captain, all Pac-12, and he can help you fill that gap for a year until you develop some of those younger guys. Brett DeGrow, Guy Brooks, good morning. The Midwest Try, should Joey B get the MVP this year? No, he shouldn't. Patrick Mahomes should. And, before he got injured, I would have said Jalen Hurts probably deserved it. But Mahomes has thrown for more yards, more touchdowns, and they had a better record than the Bengals. It's what it is. I think Burrow had a great season. I think it's going to be tough for Burrow to win an MVP, because I don't know that his numbers in that offense are ever going to look like what Mahomes' numbers will, or some of the other guys who just play in a little more wide open system, right? So it's going to have to be a situation where his team is like your best record in the AFC and he throws for 5,000 yards. Do that, and but it's going to be tough because of the era of football, and there's going to be stat compilers that put up better numbers than him. Hunter Broadhead, I strongly disagree that Zion should be an all-star starter. Okay, well, you don't get a vote. Shelby Kelly, today's the official start of LSU's 2023 run to a College World Series title, LFG. Shelby, I know you're fired up. So today is the beginning of LSU baseball practice. So this afternoon they'll have LSU Baseball Media Day. Jay Johnson will meet with the media today. I think we're going to carry that live on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. I think it's during Hanny's show, maybe during Hanny time, noon. So Jay Johnson will meet with the media. He'll answer questions. We'll have an opportunity for player interviews, and then then they go practice. So they'll have an inter-squad scrimmage. So today it starts, man. Today practice officially starts, and you are 3 weeks away from first pitch. Let's see. Smash that like button if you would there on YouTube, Facebook. Please like the page. Larry Garner, good morning. Jason H., good morning. Reed Rule. Colin Cowherd trying to shoehorn the Commanders into the Sean Payton race. Have you heard anything on this? Well, so I haven't heard what Cowherd said. I don't know anything about that. I think, number one, you got to keep in mind when you're talking about, okay, first of all, go back. Diana Rossini did have a report earlier this week that there was a mystery team, right? And if they could get their ducks in a row, they might get into the mix for Sean Payton. Okay. They have an owner there, Dan Snyder, who's on his way out, who may not care. That may be his parting shot, right? He didn't care about the future assets, and if he put Sean Payton in place, he could always look back and say, see, I did that. So maybe. The other thing I'll tell you is, with respect to Cowherd, like, he is a nationally syndicated host who has deep connections across the country. And as I often tell you sometimes, I tell you without telling you. When you sort of make a prediction based in something you already know to be happening, like when I told y'all I thought Walker Howard would go to Ole Miss, or that Spencer Sanders was going to follow. I mean, it was already done, but you present it as an opinion, right? So maybe that's something where he has information, but I don't know what he said, so it's really hard for me to say definitively, because I don't know. I don't know anything about the Washington Commanders. I have no contacts, connections, sources anywhere in Washington, so with that organization, so I have no idea. Jason Mobile, bruh, how about the Otter might drop in Grand Canyon with the over and it hit? I didn't even look at a second of it, Jason. I have no doubt that it hit. No doubt whatsoever. He gave it, he said that was, if you missed it, so every day at the end of AFR, Jimmy Ott comes on for Otter Locks and he gives like a best bet of the night. Well, a lot of y'all know Jimmy does a lot of content for the Bet Rivers people, and so he, accumulates opinions from some of the best sports handicappers in the country and puts out content every day. So sometimes they're his plays, sometimes he'll give out a play like yesterday, the play he gave was the over in the Grand Canyon against Cal Baptist game. It was over, the total was 140, gave the over. I'm telling you, Bruce Marshall, I've never seen anything like it. The degree of commitment to where you can give confidently an opinion on the total in a game between Grand Canyon and Cal Baptist, you have reached a level of handicapping with which I will never be familiar. But the thing you got to keep in mind is when those happen, you have great value because not a lot of people are betting the total in Grand Canyon against whatever it was again, Cal Baptist. So I had no doubt that when Bruce Marshall and Paul Stone both gave that out, that was a lot. Take it to the bank. Lock. Yeah, so Otter and Fuego. Spurge, what's good? Caleb, what's good? Sean Comiskey, morning, Matt. Listened to Bobby Hebert last night. He kind of suggested that it was Drew Brees who made Sean Payton. Agree or disagree? No, I disagree, and I'll remind you that I think they had a very symbiotic relationship, but I'll remind you, man, in 2018 when Brees got hurt, Teddy Bridgewater went in and went 5-0. But Jameis was at 5-2 before he got hurt, and then after Jameis got hurt, they still managed to go 9-8 a year ago. So no, I actually disagree with that. I think Sean needed Drew and Drew needed Sean. Drew's a Hall of Famer, a first ballot, and Sean is a great offensive-minded head coach, arguably the best in this era of football. So, again, Sean, I didn't hear what Bobby said, so I don't know if you're exactly representing what he said. I'm not saying you're lying, but there's sometimes nuance to conversation. But does Sean win all those games and win a Super Bowl if he doesn't have Drew Brees? No. But does Drew Brees become a Hall of Fame quarterback without Sean Payton? Probably not. Eric Wilderrotter, LSU Baseball open on Caesars as plus 700 for the title. we should jump all over that, right? That's a good bet. I think those odds will dwindle as the season goes along. So yeah, if you can get LSU plus 700, I'd probably be inclined to take that. I mean, if you want to make a futures bet, yes. I don't know what the odds are to make the CWS, but if you can get odds for LSU to make the College World Series, I would say that is as relatively safe a long-term bet as you can make. A futures bet, right? Jesse Brown, good morning. As always, Joe, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Mimi went to Brock yesterday, saw Dr. Easton for her knee. Little meniscus strain there for Mimi, but they got her ship shape. So you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. Same day appointments available, walk-ins welcome. You can always call for your appointment. After hours clinic, nights and weekends. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. That's HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. You got pain. Book a session with Crystal Poche. She'll help take you out of it. restoredmotions.com. And ProCharge EV. Not sure if y'all saw it, but East Baton Rouge was received grant money for all electric school buses for East Baton Rouge Parish. Gonna have to charge those buses somewhere. ProCharge EV. ProCharge EV. Electric vehicle charging stations for your home or public building. If you own a business, you should consider it, because think of it this way. Install an EV charger and you get people who will stop at your business 20 minutes or so to charge up their vehicle. They come in your business and walk around, maybe shop. Or you can always do tap to pay on EV chargers as well. So, people have to pay for that service. So you can turn that into a passive revenue stream as well. Robert Potts, good morning, Matt. Thinking about baseball. Tennessee was the runaway favorite last year, fell flat. Our Tigers do know how to finish, but Jay's new coach, what do you think separates us this year? I don't know, Robert. That's the cautionary tale with baseball. Tennessee was the best team in the country last year, and they didn't win the national title. They didn't even make it to Omaha. They lost a home super regional to Notre Dame, which happens. David Price, that year at Vanderbilt, 2007, they were the number 1 overall national seed and lost a home regional. So it's baseball, man. Baseball is the old adage, you're as good as your starting pitcher that day. So funny things can happen in that game. What separates, I think Jay Johnson is a better coach than Tony Vitello. As far as baseball acumen, attention to detail, I think all of that. Talent-wise, this LSU baseball team, last year's Tennessee team, both very talented, comparable, but there's something to be said for getting to Omaha and knowing how to win once you're there. Jay's been to Omaha twice. He got Arizona to the championship series in his first year there when they lost to Coastal Carolina, and went again his last year at Arizona. So he's been there, but these LSU players haven't. So I got to go throw out the ball and let's see how it goes, man. Let's see. Brant, can't find any college baseball on my betting app. I haven't even looked yet at DraftKings to see if college baseball is up yet or any futures are up yet. So that's a good point. Whoever brought that up. Who was that brought? Was it Brant? Who brought that up? Eric brought it up. Sorry, Eric. Yeah, I'll have to check, man, to see if they got them at DraftKings. Let's see. Where are we? Brant, more Matt. I was watching Jordy's show. I was curious what happened with the abrupt departure from ESPN. Did he break even, or is his new venture doing much better than what he had at ESPN? No, man. I mean, Jordy was like nothing happened. It wasn't like a moment, anything, like he did something nefarious or anything like that. But I would say, just management made a decision to go a different direction. So that's when he started his own thing. I think he's doing really well. I mean, he's built a good business there, man, and they got a lot of shows under their umbrella, and he's doing really well, man. I mean, Jordy's a friend. I wish nothing but the best for him, man. I say it all the time, man. It's an industry where we everyone has the opportunity to have success. There is abundance everywhere, and everybody can have success. Oh, it was Abilene Christian, my bad. I was saying Cal Baptist. It was Abilene Christian. Thank you. Mark Bork, what's up? Mark Bork. Craig Dubga, frequent way. Rhoda Yule, last year we did over under 100 homers, I think. We up it to over 120. I don't know that I can get down with 120, Rode. Because now you're talking about 2 homers a game over the duration of a season. That's a lot. They didn't get to 100 last year, did they? Let's see. LSU hit... Oh, they hit 114 last year. Oh. My goodness. I didn't realize they had 114 last year. Cruz at 22, and Joe Bear had 18. Barry had 15. Doty had 15. McManus had 10. Okay, yeah, I'll take 120. I'll go over 120. In that case, I'll go over 120 for sure. With Tommy Tanks Tanks and Cruz alone. Jeez. Yes, I'll go over 120. I got 2 minutes. I got to go. Couple more. Matt Busher, Kenneth Kyle. What do you think softball will have a better year this year? I do. I know they're excited about softball. LSU's plus 500 in DraftKings. Okay. Kyle DeVille, what's the logic behind Walker leaving LSU for Ole Miss in the same situation? I've talked about that a ton already, Kyle. Told you it was going to happen before it happened. They knew Spencer Sanders was coming in. Again, Walker didn't feel like he was going to have an opportunity to compete here. Wasn't going somewhere where he's going to be handed a job, just wanted an opportunity to compete. He was going to run third at LSU, meaning he was going to play scout team. And I think last year, I was told he had 4 practices all season with the offense. Do you really get better if you're just running scout team and giving your defense a look? That's the problem. So that's when I went to Ole Miss, and I know everyone's looking, but I've been told Jackson Dart is not going to be back. So I know Dart's already transferred once, but sometimes players get processed. We'll see what happens. But that's my understanding of the situation. So you'll have Walker and Spencer Sanders competing at Ole Miss this year. Robert Potts, if you had to choose one weekend series to go down to BR, which one? Oh, it would be Tennessee. You got to go to the Tennessee series. Jason H., what kicks are we going with today? I'm going my all-white Air Force Ones today. White on white. And last one, okay, yeah, Brett said Tennessee. If not Tennessee, go to Arkansas. I'm cosign. All right, I got to get going, y'all. Have an awesome day. As always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, Restored Motions, and ProCharge EV. We will, LSU Daily, I got to get that published later today. My apology, I had a race out of studio last night, so I didn't get LSU Daily published this morning. My apologies. I'll get that done later today. And AFR 3, Terrio, a lot of baseball talk, all that good stuff. And we'll see you then. Peace.